Hello and welcome, everybody. It is your weekly BAMS 9 debrief. We are recapping week 9 of BAMS 9 with the setup that you got there. That might be the lucky number. With this past week, you get a win. Congrats. I played Joe Mixon, so fuck my face. And now the baloney squeezes 10th in points find themselves atop the standings. How are we doing, Zintak?
I'm great, and I'm glad you brought up the ninth week in BAMS 9. Let's just appreciate for a moment the Golden Week. Every year we get one Golden Week. It feels good. BAMS Golden Week, new segment alert. But I'm great. Another week, another off-site podcast for us, and this week we are in beautiful Reno, Nevada, at the Peppermill Resort, and beautiful place. Never really spent much time. Never spent much time here, but it's been great. I haven't stepped a foot outside all week, and that's how they like it. So does remind me that we do have to pay our sponsors. So I do have a quick ad before we get going. Hey, gambling man, do you like to gamble, but you hate to go to Las Vegas? But you still want to take that cross-country flight and wait in an airport for hours? But you don't want any other distractions and other activities to do when you get there? And you also like a little bit of construction by your room? Then come to the Peppermill Resort in Reno, Nevada, where today, if you book a room during the week of November 13th, 2022, we're not going to yell at you if you take a pair of our headphones from the gym when you forget yours and need to use them for a Zoom conference for a fantasy football podcast. Book now, and good luck, gambling man. So that's not bad. I like that.
And yeah, thank you so much. Whatever that place is called, Peppermill Resort.
Peppermill. So let's get into it. I got a lot of stuff to hit on. We got a recap that we'll kick things off with. So let's do it. What recap sticks out to you right away?
Okay, pulling it up now. You know what? We'll go with I love that I'm headlining with the number 12 and number 9 team in our league, but it was the closest matchup of the week. The Hotspurs just can't catch a break. They put up 122. Not enough to beat Derek's rad team. Change it with a 122.9. So less than a point separates these two. The Hotspurs still with one lone win on the year. Who'd they beat, by the way? Oh, okay. Was you okay?
What a game.
What a game. And the rough part about this is that the Hotspurs had a lot riding on Monday night. They got 24 out of Kenyon Drake, 1 point from Taysom Hill. But when we're talking about a week where the Hotspurs lose by 1 point, it was the New Orleans defense with a 3-point performance on Derek's red team. If they scored 2 points, Hotspurs win, but no, 3 points from New Orleans on Monday night, enough to stave off the Hotspurs. Congrats to Derek's rad team getting the win this week.
And that was huge for him because that's a difference between a 4 and a 3-win team, which right now, when we got some weight moving to the top end of the standings, 4 versus 3 is a big deal right now. So congrats to Derek's team for staying alive. My matchup that stuck out to me is King T Hill versus Diesel Guys. And this fits into a what a game segment. Just it's poetic how this matchup came right after last week's veto situation and the text thread that went down in the Cabo. So it just everything works out like this always. Polanka gets the last laugh. It was not close, but he got his Corbin Patterson back from injury, hitting 18 points. Derrick Henry is automatic. Tariq Hill is going to be an offensive player of the year candidate. And yeah, just another down week for the Diesel Guys. I don't have it in front of me, but I know they're still up there as far as points goes. It's just a weird year for them. They're another 4-win team that's knocking on the door to get in the playoffs. So fun matchup. With
quick chime in there is that the Diesel Guys in 8th place. They are in the 1,000 point club, which I think we only have 5. We got 6 teams in the 1,000 point club. So their points are better than their standings right now.
Yeah, they're top half of the league right now in points. So they keep at it. It'll work out, or it should. Maybe not because it's fantasy football. All right, what do we got next?
All right. Let's go to. Oh, I mean, I'm mad at myself that I didn't jump on this because you could have taken it from me. Shayski with the victory here. So this is Shayski with 102 over Tranny. Nope. Whoops. Transition is what I was saying into the next segment.
Yeah.
So this is Shayski over the gangbang. So 102 to 98, very close. When we talk about Shayski here, I mean, it's Shay's Heaters. So Shay's Heaters, this victory from Shay is brought to you by Marlboro Menthols, men, women, children of all ages. Recent news has come out that Marlboro Menthols are actually healthy for you. Marlboro Menthols, smoke them. So Shay goes 35 from Patrick Mahomes and then 23 from Austin Eckler. Those were the heaters of the week. They were the ones that got him over the top. And with the output of 102, that's just enough to get him across, because otherwise from his team, it was kind of like low double digits on the performance there. So congrats to Shay, keeping his season alive, and I think staying in the middle of the pack, very much poised for a playoff run.
And I just want to clarify that these are ads that we're reading were provided by the companies. I'm pretty sure I heard sources that they want to change them to all falls just so they're not discluding. Is that a word? Discluding? Not just including the gentleman. So all falls. Yeah. We got to stay appropriate. We got a lot of fans out there. So, okay, next recap is going to be yourself, Hardo, in the baloney squeezes. What I see here, you mentioned it at the opening, Joe Mixon. That is one of the biggest games for a running back ever. That's all I saw on the social media feeds after, is the ranking the best weeks for a fantasy football player since its inception. 53.17, that's going to do it. You have a little concern at the wide receiver position. Pair those two together, and that's going to give you an L and a baloney squeeze win, who, like you said, is in first place, and he has the 10th most points in the league. So good on him. If some guys start turning it around on that team, I know him and I were kind of beefing. I wouldn't say him and I know he came after me a little bit, which, let's talk about the poetic side of this again. Him and I going up against each other this week after those texts. And I don't know if I'll get the last laugh, but Joe Mixon on by. So,
and while we're talking about
new segment, go ahead.
Continuing on the segment is that you mentioned that I'm weak at receiver. That's true. I've been selling out on running backs. I can't complain too hard about the Joe Mixon, because baloney squeezes didn't put up that great of a performance otherwise. But little Bamalytics is that on my roster, there is no one with a bye for the rest of the year. I have completed all of my buys, so I am ready to pounce. So when you mentioned thin at receiver, no Amari Cooper, who's actually sneaky, like top 15, one of my guys. He basically is like my new Keenan Allen, in that, like, no one cares about him. Everyone is grossed out by him. And then he just scores like 15 points every single week, is a top 15 receiver. So I am psyched about that. He comes off a bye this week. Everyone's coming off a bye, and I'm making a run.
Energy, baby. Love it. Fantastic. All right. Hit me. What you got?
Let's go to the Fianna and Marianne's Hammocks. Fianna was when we did the midseason rankings, they were my number one team. They continued to roll. Even with Jamar Chase sidelined, it's just Lamar Jackson, Cooper Kupp, McCole Hardman peaking for KC here. Alvin Kamara having a down week, but going to be top 10 down the stretch. And then there we go. Kenny Walker, just like absolute stud down the stretch here. So, and then I think every single time I review the Fianna, I forget that Miles Sanders is on this team too. So nasty team, stacked, 133 in their output for this week. They take down the Hammocks putting up 73. So rough go for that round. Easy victory for the Fianna. They keep rolling.
All right, this is great because you ready for a nice transition? Ready for this? So number one, Fianna, just a side note, increases his lead over the rest of the league as the most points from 64.8 to 80.01. So that's getting kind of big. So I don't have the list in front of me because again, we're on site. We don't have all the resources, but take a look at it. It's getting sizable. And what do we have? 9, 7, 6, 3. We have 4 or 5 weeks done, not confirmed left. So nice pole position for Fianna. Here's the transition I referenced. It was good win for him, but it wasn't enough to be the commissioner for the best week. Best score of the week. I had nothing going on Monday night as far as my team is concerned. He had Lamar Jackson and Alvin Kamara, and I don't know what it came out to. I didn't write it down, but it was very close. Him and I were texting. It was fun to pay attention to, but the commissioner came through again with another big week. And why did I win? This is what Justin Fields. I mean, that's 170 points, beat out Vic for most rushing yards in a game. ETN, he's been a great turning into a great running back for that trade that I've made with Growley. That's really it. That's really all that was needed. Nothing huge from Groles.
Yeah.
But then again, he's trading away his life, so that was expected.
Yes, that rounds us out is that matchup between you and Groles. You put up 134, Groles with a 76, and this is the matchup of the trade partners, the blockbuster trade of the year. Groles planning for next year, giving you a lot of talent. You really did buy low on a lot of people there. ETM probably being at the perfect pivot point before he exploded, but then I mean, Kittle on bye, going to be huge for you down the stretch. And then Mostert getting interesting with the Jeff Wilson entry, but very least looking like he'll be splitting carries on a high scoring offense. So
yeah,
you made out well there.
He's turning into a handcuff. Swift's going to jump right back into that role. So we're going to sit Mostert this week. This could yield a new segment, but we'll bounce around some ideas. I don't want to muddy the waters here, but another low key matchup was King of T Hill versus Grimmer. Why did I write that down? 119 versus 118. So King of T Hill held off Grimmer, the baloney squeezes, to remain in the survivor race by 1 point. So
did not play each other, but in the survivor pool, it came down to that.
Yeah. So survivor, we got 3 teams left. This is when we start talking about a little more. We got Fianna, we got Derek's red team, change it, and we have King of the T Hill. So that's we have all these ancillary matchups going on to pay attention to. Keeps it fun. Go ahead.
That's justice. I mean, we've talked about how Derek's red team they're in the unlucky pool, and they just like keep having teams go big against them, despite having a pretty good roster. So Derek's red team in 9th place, but this shows you that in the survivor pool, like they've been good, consistently delivering every single week, and find themselves in position to maybe take home that survivor pool.
And on that note, Derek's red team again in first with most points against him. We talked about Fianna increasing their lead. Derek also increased his lead from 33.2 points to 43. So these leaders in the points, 1 for, 1 against, are also added a little cushion this week. So, just very small victories, finding the positive in it, and there are plenty of them to go around. So, one other thing that I noticed was kind of interesting. We're going to go through the weekly high scores throughout the season. Starting with week 1, goes Diesel Guys, Commissioner, Hardo, King of T Hill, Derek, the Fianna, Gangbang. Diesel Guys, Commissioner. And who's going to win this week? I don't know. We got a nice order of operations going on. And if this means anything, get ready for a win, Mr. Hardo.
Bang.
Yeah.
That was good. That was impromptu Bamalytics. I really love that.
That was good. I told you I had content this week. What do we got next? I got another pretty hefty segment that was kind of interesting. Should we
waiver wire or your hefty segment?
No, we're going hefty segments. So this new segment is called BAMS Through the Years. Okay. This week we're going to be talking about trades. there's a lot of trades going around. I wanted to see how that's changed over the years and kind of projecting what to expect the rest of this year and just kind of moving forward. It was kind of cool to see. So just going to go through some notes, just interesting stuff. That's all this is. So first season of BAMS, 1 trade. Second season, 0. Third season, 4, 2, 1, 2. And then BAM 7, we had 10 trades. That's when things picked up. 8, we had 11 with a veto. And 9, we have 9 right now with a veto. So if, the trend means anything, I think we're going to have at least 2, 3 more here before the deadline, which is coming up in 9 days.
Yeah.
So right now it's Thursday. So next Saturday, don't forget, set your clocks. We got a trade deadline, gentlemen. We have a few more trades to keep this trend going.
With you and this casino background again, what number just popped again?
What?
9 days till the trade deadline. It's 9 again. I mean, you need to you need to jump on a roulette.
Oh, you want me to go bet money? No, I lost on craps last night, and I'm not stepping foot. Well, I'm in a casino right now, but I'm not going to step foot at a table. But I may do it because we do it for the league. We do it.
Things are coming together. That's what I'm saying.
The league. Yeah.
Great hefty segment. Love that.
One more point to that. You want to know what the first trade in the history of BAMS ever was?
Yes.
It was between Pizza Party, Polanca, and before I got my identity as commissioner with the name, I was Bismo Funyuns.
Yeah, bad name. Yeah, very good change.
Stupid. Tried way too hard. Anyway, I acquired Larry Donnell from a tight end from Baltimore Ravens. And
is that you making up a name? Or is that truly what is Larry Donnell?
Larry Donnell. Donald. I don't know. I think it was Donnell. But anyway, and I gave away Andre Williams, a running back from the now LA Chargers, but it was the San Diego Chargers running back Andre Williams for Larry Donnell.
What a fascinating look into the history of this
time. So when you are at a bar here in the future and it's BAMS trivia night, keep that in the back of your mind. Okay. That's BAMS for the years for this week. And let's do some waiver wire. You got anything top of mind? I sure do.
Yeah, I'll hit a few things here. I'm going to when the waivers kicked in on at the wee hours of Wednesday. So King of T Hill picking up Terrace Marshall, I believe an LSU product, 2nd round draft pick for Carolina, which is a super weird team right now. Have no idea what to expect out of the quarterback position, but big body, big play, red zone target there. So not too bad. Diesel guys get the prize of the week with Greg Dulcich. I didn't look at what the competition was, but I'm sure a bunch of people put in for him because he seems to be the only person that wants to have a conversation with weirdo Russ Wilson, and they have a little bit of chemistry going there. So the mustache, the Weird Al fro, it's all working for Dulcich. So biggest pickup of the week from what I saw there. Any commentary on that one?
I have 2 points to make, and one's going back to last week, and that's just what Justin Fields did, and I'm going to.
The garbage picker, Kamish, just finally made it happen. It was Hurts last year. It's Fields this year.
Yeah.
You're just making it happen.
I was going to go put my life on black if I didn't get him. I drafted him at the very last round this year, so don't forget that he's a 13th round pick for me next year. I didn't think I was going to get him, but it worked out. And he'll probably get hurt. He didn't last week, thank God. But yeah, that. And then you know what? I also wanted to talk about that trade that Growley and Shea did for Aaron Jones. Exactly what we talked about earlier in the season. I was surprised Shea didn't put up a fight to try and sway the league to veto that after the injury. He's going to play this week, and it worked out. But again, there's just so many situations that work perfectly that it's great that we can talk about this before, and then it just transpires into reality later in the season. So good trade. Hopefully he works out for Shea, for Growley. We just want everyone to win. Positive stuff. That's all I got for waiver wires. What's next?
I think it was a low ankle sprain on Aaron Jones, and that he's ultimately okay. So like to see that it wasn't just like trade and then death. So decent there.
As the AJ Dillon owner, not a fan. It was just disappointing to see that he's going to be okay. So we don't root for injuries, but alas.
I think when I look through the waiver wire, otherwise it's a lot of underwhelming names of like Jarvis Landry, Hunter Renfrow, Cole Kmet, which might be okay. I know we got the Chicago bias here. Latavius Murray, the Chase Edmonds now on the Broncos. So like there's like 4 running backs that could be getting carries on the Broncos. So all just kind of like middling stuff. I think one call out is the Bologna Squeeze is picking up Deshaun Watson. It sucks that he's a sympathizer with that man. Got that blood on your hands there. Bologna Squeezes, but I guess when you're scrounging and you're trying to make a push late in the year, I picked up Amari Cooper, of course, with Deshaun Watson in mind down the stretch, but that leaves me removed enough. Grimy hands on Mr. Bologna Squeezes there. Hate to see it.
So I'm not going to make any comments because I flew under the radar and picked up Watson here last couple weeks, and no joke, in anticipation of the fallout and the negative response to that, I Googled NFL player arrests, and I had a whole list. If someone said anything about me, I was about to come hard with people who used to draft people and be like, you can't say anything because you had this guy. You can't say anything. There's a website. It's like NFLarrest.com. It's fantastic. It's very funny. So anyway,
yeah, like you are a man who's going to have a microphone in his face every week. So that was just a great PR move, getting Watson out of the way. Bologna Squeezes, maybe we'll have a guest appearance for him to make a statement next week. Yeah. But with him being off of the vlog, keeps his hands clean, keeps his name out of the group here.
It's a tough position to be in when people are ragging on him and he can't make a comment. But so goes BAMS. Anyway, who's going to die this week? We'll go from one conversation to the next, all appropriate. Let's go wide receivers first because I have one off the top of my head. Devonna Smith from the Philadelphia wide receiver. Philadelphia Eagles. He's a wide receiver. He's a very skinny gentleman, and I don't have faith that he's going to hold up this week. He's been good for Shea, but Shea escaped an injury to Aaron Jones last week, and it's just gonna, right when you get to close to clear up, Devonna Smith's gonna go down. So he's gonna have a high ankle sprain. I feel like that's just the default. Like that's a good guess.
A little 4 to 6 weeks. Do we put him on the IR?
Back for the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
That whole narrative.
Yeah, that shapes up. He's just a slender man, so I can see it happening.
He's like a Durant, maybe smaller.
I'm gonna go with Michael Pittman Jr. of the Colts. As you've probably seen a theme develop throughout this year, is like I like to root for chaos and like jump on the wagon of like if things are going south, I just want like more bad things to happen. So the Colts are just getting super sloppy. You got Irsay hiring Jeff Saturday as the head coach there for the Colts, who has not coached at the collegiate or professional level. Was coaching high school, I believe. So good to see that white billionaires are, giving opportunities to minority coaches with this hire of Jeff Saturday. So love to see that. I want bad things to happen to this team. Michael Pittman, if you're on the chopping block, tough.
All right. I like that. QBs. I don't know his first name. Lawrence from Jacksonville Jaguars.
Trevor.
I just didn't know it. A lot of positive stuff with this team right now. And we may have talked about it, but it's just a common talking point right now is how there's so much positive energy around them. But what are they? What's their record? It's horrible. And they're not winning games. I
think they have 2-3 wins. Maybe.
Yeah, they're not a good team, but I guess he's playing well. He's not had the greatest year, but anyway, he's gonna hurt. It's a shoulder. He's gonna get hit throwing and
throwing shoulder, non-throwing shoulder.
Oh, no, definitely throwing shoulder. Yeah, no, and then I don't know who their backup is, but that's not good for Entenmann's, which we don't root for injuries, and I hope it doesn't happen, but I think it's gonna happen. So we'll stick with that. That's my quarterback pick.
Got it. I'll be going a little chalky here, but Tua Tagovailoa. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just like
They say that one time fast.
Ford, he's gotten away a few weeks of wearing the Tua jersey and nothing bad happening. This offensive design is unreal, and they are like a top 5 offense of the league, and it is all Waddle and Tyreek Hill and the design from McDaniel. I think Tua's kind of getting away with underthrowing receivers, but they're just open by like 5 to 10 yards every single time. So, yeah, I think we're going to have Tua. It gets into like grim territory if we're talking any head injury stuff. So we're just going to say he's going to jam a finger on a throw, on a helmet. He's going to jam a finger. So Tua out for 1 week, hand.
Okay. If you didn't notice, I tried to slip in a Pete Grimmer jokes when you said it was grim, but we're going to move past that. I don't want to talk about that. My quarterback, we're not on quarterbacks, we are on running backs, is going to be Nyheim Hines. I feel like there's always a trade that people get excited about, and the guy gets hurt right away. Not always, but it happens, and this is going to happen this week. So Buffalo's gonna mess around. You know what? This is why it's going to happen, because I don't know if your quarterback Josh Allen's going to play.
UCL.
Yeah, LB. Rely a little more on the run, a little more play for Nyheim Hines, a little more percentage of injury. Ergo, injury. I don't know if that's
I love that call. I love the hype of the trade. Very interesting. Like the Bills have just really not wanted to use Devin Singletary in the passing game. They draft James Cook. I see Grohl's picked up James Cook. So maybe he is looking into the future here, that Nyheim Hines comes in, gets injured. They need somebody to fulfill that passing role. They don't want it to be Singletary. James Cook slides right back in with this injury to Nyheim Hines.
That's great. My clock says we are at about 28 minutes, which is fantastic. I feel like we need to.
I need to predict a running back who's going to die.
Did you not do it already? Oh, you
Nope.
just commented on mine. Okay. Well, then.
While I comment on yours, Travis Etienne, dead.
I deserve that.
He's a little baby boy. He's just a little baby boy. He's 195 pounds soaking wet. He just looks too small out there. He has been tight roping through each week, getting this much usage. So I think he got 28 carries last week, something like that. They're using him a lot. And this team is bad. So it's like, do you want to be tempting the fates? I hope it doesn't happen, Kamish, but probably just because I'm bitter about my whole James Robinson trade situation.
Yeah.
I just want to see him die. So there you go.
Okay. Do I have the most vulnerable running back room? Between him and Mostert?
Yeah.
And a Pierce, Damian Pierce.
Pierce, you're okay. I think you're okay. I mean, the usage is through the roof, but he's
it scares me.
A bull.
Yeah, he is bull. DeAndre Swift, another one. My gosh.
That's done. He's getting like 5 to 10 snaps a game.
One more. All right, I got to do one more ad before we close this out. We are done, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, gambling man. Did you know that Lake Tahoe is only like 45 minutes from Peppermill? It's still a good place to go to because it's got Lake Tahoe, but we're fun too. Peppermill's still cool. And on that note, we'll close things out. We had a lot of taglines going through the text. We always try to improve. We'd like to, go around the country and see different places for these podcasts, keep things interesting. So, I just want to say that BAMS, I forgot the tagline, something about being better. We're always being better, always trying to be better. So on that note, that was fail. You got anything else before we close things out?
No, man, we got to go out on that high points Costanza this thing.
Yeah.
While we're sizzling hot.
Mm-hmm. We're hot.
Great show. Great work by us. I love everybody who listens and watches.
I will say, stay tuned. We have a great ad read for next week. We have some serious stuff coming in. It's growing. The groundswells is happening. BAMS is growing again. Like I said, better every day. That was it. Love you guys.
Love you guys.